Hello fellow OzTREKKers, my name is Chrysten Petal, otherwise known as Ozzy Flozzy, and I am one of OzTREKK's social media ambassadors. And today I'm going to be doing a video tour of the JCU Cairns campus. Okay, so here is the road entrance into JCU off of McGregor Road. Over there is the Captain Cook Highway. So that's from Cairns and Smithfield. The beaches is off of there, just past the roundabout. And further in is the bungee jumping off of that road. Can't really see it through the trees, and I'll show you a better view as I get closer, is what we know as the JCU Oval. This is where a lot of JCU has their sporting events, such as soccer, football, and the like. And just behind this building, though you can't really see it right now, there is a very small gym that JCU offers for its students. It's got elliptical, just the basic gym equipment that you would see at a gym. And then over here, you can see is the JCU bus stop. Buses from Palm Cove, Trinity Beach, Cairns Central all come here and pick up students and drop off students for school, or to take them into the city to hang out with friends, or to go to the JCU Cairns city campus, which the students at the JCU Cairns campus here can access. So now that we are turning on into the road, here's a general look at what you see immediately as you turn onto the inner campus roads. This is a clinic for the 3rd and 4th year students to work in, and what this clinic does is that it offers dental services to the low income and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, so they can come in here and get their dental service work done at a lower rate than if they went into the city. Further down from the clinic, which we've just walked from, is the JCU Dentistry Building. This building is where the students of the Bachelor of Dental Surgery program basically spend the next 4 years before they go into placement. It is here that me as a dentistry student will have their microbiology labs, their oral anatomy labs, the regular anatomy labs, our tutoring sessions, and our home group sessions. And across the road is the Cairns Institute building, where they have one large lecture hall where the dentistry students do have their lectures, and this building also contains a small cafe. So the Cairns campus is actually a relatively small campus. The map makes it look big, but it's not. It is a relatively small campus. Everything is roughly about maybe a 5-10 minute walk from each other, and JCU is split up into precincts. There's Precinct A, B, C, D, and E. Of course, the dentistry program has their program in the Precinct D, thus all the buildings are D for dentistry. And the precinct we are now heading over to is Precinct A. Precinct A has the nursing buildings, the lecture halls, the education program buildings, and the student center and administration buildings as well. And the building that we are approaching here doesn't have an official name like a dentistry building. It's just called A2. But A2 is mainly where you will find the students for the nursing program in here. Okay, currently we are now in the main courtyard of the campus, or generally where people come in. There's another road entrance right there. And the building that I'm currently showing you right now is known as the Chancellor Lee Building. This is where all the administrative stuff of JCU goes on. So you've got the Student Center here where you go for student inquiries. You've got the International Student Support Team that gives support to international students from around the world. So if you have any questions, you go to them or talk to them. And walking a bit further in is the lecture halls up here. They are known as the Crowther Theaters. There are 3 of them here, with A2 being one of the largest to hold 300 students, and the other 2 are relatively smaller. So for the dentistry students, we take a communications course called RH1002, also known as Communications for Healthcare Workers. And we have our lectures in A3, which is the ones with the current lights on in front of the building. So if there's lectures going on, the sign above the door will light up saying that there are lectures going on in the hall. And then if you look to the other side, here's another entrance to the Chancellor Lee Building. And from this point onwards down the building is where RH has their workshops and tutorials. And as we head in here, this is where the International Student Support Team holds their international cafe mornings, where they have get-togethers for the international students, and they have a board up here where they put up job offers, activities that are going on in Cairns, various deals, and the like here, as you can see. Okay, so now we are approaching the intersection of the campus. So at the crossroads of the campus, here you can go either of 3 ways. You could go further down here to see the rest of Precinct A, which includes at the far end Building A4, which on the upper floors holds their rooms for their educational programs. So like if you're going into a teaching degree, the building over here is the Indigenous Education and Research Center. This is where the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students go for support and educational help. And as we turn and go back to the middle of the crossroads, further down here is Precinct E, which we will go to in a sec. And further down this way is Precinct B. So going down Precinct E, this is where the chemistry labs are, the regular science programs are, the health sciences and programs of the like are. And over here, behind the A2 building and the lecture halls, is the bike workshop. So the engineering class runs a bike workshop, and they work and fix up bikes. As you can see, there's a covered walkway all the way to Precinct E for the most part. There are some parts that are uncovered, but for the most part it is covered. And off to my left is Akita Creek, which is a creek that runs through the JCU Cairns campus. And during the hotter months, the creek bed is dry, has dried up, but when it rains, the creek bed does get filled with water and becomes Akita Creek. So you can see right here that the water is starting to flood in. Not going to hold the camera too far over the edge, but see a little bit of river action going on. I'll walk over to the other side. So see, the riverbed is still mostly dried up, and I haven't used these yet, but I know there are various trails throughout campus going through the rainforest that you can take your bike on. And you'll find occasionally on your way around the bridges and such, you'll find signs detailing certain plants you will see, like this one. And you will see various picnic benches where you can have lunch and such, or to hang out with friends. Okay, so the building on my right is the Health and Sciences building. This building is where dentistry students have the chemistry labs. There are also a couple of technological classes in there. They look pretty cool, very bright, very open. No worries about being in such a dark building. And right now we're approaching the crossroads of the section Precinct E building. So down here we have the sign. To the left is the QTHA, which we are going to go check out the sign for. So as you can see by the sign here, that this is the Queensland Tropical Health Alliance Research Laboratory. So a bunch of research is done here for people doing their science degrees or people who already have their professional degrees and are researchers. Okay, and as we further go up, we have two more buildings. Off to the right here is their research building for mosquitoes, and they've got a mosquito shed in the back. So this is where they research like the various diseases that mosquitoes carry. And as you can see, the walkway up to the buildings has very nice artwork of the mosquitoes. So this building is known as the Sir Robert Norman Building, which also contains the mosquito research facility. And here's another part of the research facility that we saw previously. It's also got a little cafe on the side, so if you're hungry or need a quick bite to eat, you can take a quick bite to eat here. Okay, so we're currently back at the cross-section or crossroads of the JCU campus, and we had just come from Precinct E, and now we're heading to Precinct B. So the JCU library contains 3 floors. The first floor is where you get your general help from the librarians. It has computers and various services on writing papers and the like. So, and this is the area where generally if you're working projects you can be the loudest. Second floor has the student support services and more of the computers and some of the printers. And this is generally a more quieter area. And then the third floor contains more computers and all the books that the JCU library has, and this is a quiet study area. You cannot be loud on the third floor. And some of the services that JCU also offers is PASS, which is a tutoring service for various programs which are led by previous students who struggled in that particular course or program. So here's a further map of campus. So you see in Precinct B, you've got the Environmental Research Center, which is behind the library, along with the community garden. And Precinct D is what we came from, so you have the Health Sciences Building, the Sir Robert Norman Building, the Tropical Medicine Mosquito Research, the Australian Institute of Tropical Health and Medicine, and the aquarium. Precinct B, of course, has the dentistry, the dental clinic, and the Cairns Institute. And Precinct C, which is at the very entrance of JCU, has the sports amenities and the gymnasium. Okay, so here is the courtyard, which is surrounded on all sides by various buildings. We've got the boathouse, where JCU has many of their social events. The bookshop, which is currently closing or is closed. This is where students used to get their books and uniforms, but since the bookshop is closed, you have to buy your books and materials online. There's a student association over there. This is where students sign up for the various clubs that JCU has to offer. And the refectory is also a place where you can get food, like the Delish Cafe that was at the front of the JCU campus in the Cairns Institute building. And as we go further, you've got the amphitheater going off to the right, and we are going to go left. So after going through to the left, we have JCU's only on-campus resident building, known as the John Gray Hall of Residence. This building was built in 2018 and can hold up to 800 residents. And as we walk further down the path here, we have the JCU amphitheater, where they hold various of their other social events. And that concludes the end of the tour of the JCU Cairns campus. If you have any further questions about the JCU Cairns campus, or if you have any questions about the Bachelor of Dental Surgery program, feel free to DM me at OzTREKK, and have a good day.